Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Real quick, if you haven't, smash that subscribe button. I just got a flyer today of a sweet lease deal on the new Toyota Tacoma. Or is it? Let's run through the numbers and see if indeed this is a good deal to lease an SR5 Toyota Tacoma. First of all, the introduction. I always like to check these. This is kind of their incentive to entice you to come into the dealership, right? It says here, I wanted to personally invite you to our year-end of summer sales event. I'm feeling pretty special already, right? It says, use this mailer to upgrade into a newer, better vehicle with our best incentives. Right now, we are helping customers make the move easier than ever. What are they going to do for us to get us in? Here's the enticement part, right? They're going to give us a $20 Starbucks gift card with a test drive. You got to go on a test drive. They're going to give you a $20 Starbucks card. I don't go to Starbucks. It means nothing to me. Next up, purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle and receive a $250 gas card. That's enticing. Gas is expensive, right? I like that. I don't know if it's enough to get me in the door and buy something. Lastly, don't miss out on up to $3,500 bonus cash when you trade in your current vehicle. I'm not sure how you would ever know if you got that bonus cash. Did they include it when they give you the price? Or are they going to give you the price of your used vehicle and then go, we're going to add $3,500 more to it? Make sure you do your due diligence and you know what your vehicle's worth, right? It says all you need to do is bring in this mailer. I don't think you probably really need it with you and give us a few minutes. A few hours. I've asked my team to make this simple, fast, and worth your time. Hope to see you soon. It's a nice ending. Sounds good, right? So what are they offering us? Well, it says here 2026 Toyota Tacoma SR5. So this is for the SR5. It's going to cost you $89 a month for a 36-month lease. Now, that doesn't include tax and tags and title and fees and, well, there's no title, but fees and all that good stuff. I calculate that to be about $96.34 a month with just the tax in my area alone. But we're going to use their number for sake of argument. So there is some very fine print on this thing. Look at that. You have to read this fine print. And I even had to underline what I was looking at so I'd know where to find it, right? It says here, lease a new 2026 Tacoma SR5 model, $89 a month for 36 months, with $12,573 and some change down. Tax, tag, and title due at signing, 10,000 miles per year. Amount due at signing includes first monthly payment of $89. However, if you have really great credit or you've used Toyota Financial Services before, they may actually waive that, apparently. Now, there is an end of lease purchase. If you want to go through the 36 months and then buy it out at the end, that's going to cost you $26,067 plus taxes, title, and license fees additional. So what does that mean? What is this thing really going to cost you? Well, I did the calculations, right? Now, I'm just going with the $89 a month. Keep in mind, it's going to be higher because of taxes and all the other fees, right? So if you lease this thing, it's going to cost you $3,204 for 36 months. Doesn't sound too bad over 3 years, right? Plus the taxes and fees. Now, at signing, to get that $89 a month, you got to pony up $12,919. That means the total of the cost to lease this thing is $16,123. That's if you go in, drop off the $12,900 due at signing amount, and then pay $89 a month. Now, you buy it out at the end of the lease, right? That's $26,067. Keep in mind, you've already paid the $16,123 plus taxes and fees. So the total buyout at the end of the lease for an SR5 2026 Tacoma, which I'm guessing probably doesn't have much else on it, probably nothing else on it, the bare bones SR5, is going to cost you $42,190. Again, that doesn't include the tax, the fees, the licensing, plates, all that stuff. which in my experience, at least in the tax rate where I'm at on this priced vehicle, you can count on probably another $3,000 to $4,000. So let's say that it's about $4,000. That would cost you $46,190 for a 2026 Toyota Tacoma. Now it is in this nice supersonic red color, although I'm assuming this is good for any color. But you got to read that fine print, because it could say something in there about specific only to this particular color. And I'm sure it says only as good, or only good for vehicles that they actually have in stock on the lot, right? Because there is another caveat in this, which I don't have fault with, but it says that the offer is only good through, let's see, I believe it's the end of August, if I'm not mistaken. You would have to check with your dealer to verify that, but obviously it's August 31st, 2026. So you don't really have a lot of time, right? They do want to squeeze you a little bit to give you a sense of urgency to get into the dealership to buy it. Now, what's the downside of doing this other than the money? And obviously you're going to pay more than if you just bought it out, because you're renting it for some period of time, although depreciation does figure in their buyout at the end, I suppose. But one of the biggest problems, I think, is that anything that happens to that vehicle while you're leasing it is going to be your problem. I mean, if you dent it and the dents are bigger than like a quarter or a dime, whatever the latest and greatest is for how they determine, and the guy will come out with a little card that has cutouts on it to put over the dents so that he can determine, or she, what you're going to owe. So you're going to be responsible for that. Wear and tear on the inside. Seats that are torn, you can bet that's going to be your problem. Seats that are dirty, like if they've got grease or oil or maybe a substantial stain or something on them, that's going to be your problem. That's going to add even more money if you decide to drop this thing off at the end of the lease. Now, one good thing about leases is, you can trade off at any point. Let's say that there are problems with it, you've damaged it somehow, and you're at the 35th month, right? You can trade that thing off. You're only liable for whatever the balance of the lease is, right? And kind of what the worth of the vehicle is, I guess. But you can trade it off and save yourself that damage money that you would pay if you just dropped it off, right? Don't think you have to keep it until the end of the lease. I have traded off leases. I don't lease anymore, but back when I did, I have traded off leases as early as maybe just 1 year into it, right? So, who knows? It's up to the buyer in the end, the lessee, if you will, as to whether or not something like this is a good deal. Leave a comment. Let me know. Sound like something that would make you run out there and pick up a new Toyota Tacoma on a lease? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.